As you can see, spreadsheets help you contain and organize a lot of information, and there's going to be a lot of other applications that might be of use to you. One thing to consider would be keeping a lot of dates and appointments and events in a spreadsheet and actually bulk importing it to Google Calendars. Google Calendars are great ways to keep your information, your times, and your appointments, but sometimes it's tedious and cumbersome to put in a lot of events. That's especially so if you're getting ready for the beginning of the year and you want to just front load all of the holidays and progress reports and final exams or whatever else. Maybe you have a practice schedule for a club or for a band or sports team or something like that. What we can do is actually stage a lot of this information inside a spreadsheet and then import it in. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So in challenge 7, what I have here are some instructions about how to do it along with the screencasts. And then I actually went through the district's calendar, the 1819 schedule, and I put in a bunch of dates and times already. And what's going to happen is there's going to be various things that you need to do. There are some things in bold that must be included no matter what. Since it's a calendar, you have to say what the appointment or what the thing is, and that's the subject. And then a calendar must have a start date, because if you don't have a date for something, there's no point of putting it on a calendar. Optional things would be including the start time and end time. If you have a specific time slot, well, then you would go ahead and type in those times. If it is something that's going over a couple of days, well, then you can also put an end date in as well. If you have an all-day event, it would be true. If it's not an all-day event, it would just be simply false. So this column in italics is a true or false. Optional things would include a description. You can put in some details or some notes for your viewer or yourself, whatever's going on. Maybe you have to check in 15 minutes early or whatever. If you want to, you can type in a location, and this will do a pretty decent job of matching it up to a Google map, so that way you can access it via calendar. And then lastly, there's a true or false thing for private. If you indicate false for private, that means it'll be publicly shown on the calendar. If you type in true, it means that only you will see it. So what I did here is I made the things in italics true or false. The things that are regular font are optional, and the things that are in bold are required. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to copy this, just so you can see how it looks. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move on over to challenge 7A. I'm going to go ahead and paste it right on in. So what you can see a little bit better and unencumbered is how the subject would look, how the dates would look, times, and what have you. And once I'm happy with the way that it is, I'm going to go File, Download as, CSV, or comma separated values. What this will do is it will turn the spreadsheet into more of a text file, and for every column, instead of a column, there'll be a comma that separates it. If there's a blank spot, then there'll be 2 commas in a row, and the computer knows to take the commas to pick apart your columns of data and make it work. So that's what we'll do. It's downloaded. All right, I'm going to go over to my calendar now, and really, really big, important red flag, stop and think about what's going on first. There's a good chance that this test import is going to work perfectly, and there's a good chance this import could go wrong. So I really recommend that you make a new calendar that's nothing to you. If it goes bad and you don't like it, you can delete it. You're not out a lot of information. If you import it and you find it looks great in the way that you like it, well, then go ahead and bring it into a calendar that you care about. So if you have not done so already, make a new calendar. Pause this, make a new calendar, wait a moment for it to load up, and make sure that you have no emotional or personal or professional attachment to it if it goes wrong. In my case, I called it test import. So go ahead and create that fake calendar now if you need to, and pause. Welcome back. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I've selected my test import. This is where I'm going to be working. I am not going to work in a calendar that I care about. I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to select import. I'm going to select the CSV file that I downloaded just a minute ago and hit open. And I'm going to select my test calendar, not the real one, but my fake one. And I'll hit import. And now I've seen 22 events have been imported. If I go on back and I go through, I can actually start seeing my dates and my things being put in. That's great. I like it. So I can go ahead and import this to my real calendar if I like it this way. You also notice we had a start and end time for that staff development. If you click on this, you'll be able to see the start and end times. It'll click it to the school, so you can see where it is on a map, which is pretty cool. And also there's some descriptions about things that are in here too. So that's how you set it up. This can be useful because every year you're going to have Labor Day. Every year you're going to have progress reports. And maybe next year you just go ahead and you just tweak the specific dates, and then you can just bulk import it. Maybe you have your practice schedule, rehearsal schedules for theater, whatever else it might be. And this can really save you a lot of time and trouble. So check it out. Thanks for watching.